Hello Taurus, my loves, how are you doing today? I hope you're doing good, and if you're not, I hope that you will. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I'm so glad that you're here. Welcome to your reading. Welcome to my channel if this is your first time. Welcome back if this isn't your first time. Either way, welcome. This is for Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. And as you can see from the title of this video, today we're doing a tarot reading and we're looking at a couple of different things. So first we're looking at what are some lessons that you've learned in 2020 and some things that you have healed. And then we're looking at how is the Great Conjunction affecting you. So the Great Conjunction has already happened on December 21st, 2020. It was the conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn in Aquarius. If you don't know what that is or what that means astrologically, I will talk about it like just a bit after. So stick around for that. You can also look it up if you want to. So we're looking at what has the Great Conjunction activated within you, because although it has already happened, I think that its effects will be felt and awakened and witnessed for at least like a couple of months, if not a whole year. So that is why I decided to include it in this reading. And then finally, we're going to be closing out with some advice from Spirit on how to handle the in-between, how to handle the changes, or whatever it is that you might need some advice on right now at the time that you are watching this. Okay, so two things that I want to say before we get into the reading. First of all, this is a general reading, okay? So if you saw this on your feed, if you clicked on it, if you felt drawn to it, there's definitely a message for you here, but it might not be the entire reading. So if you feel like there's something that doesn't resonate, you can let it go. It's okay. And also something I like to say when we do predictions with tarot is that we can never be 100% sure of the future. This is like the most probable, or one of the most probable futures for you. And if you don't like what you hear, you're always the master of your own life and you can change that, okay? When we're looking at predictions, we're kind of looking, okay, what is the most probable future with the energy that we're in right now if things don't really change with how we're approaching our life and the choices that we're making, okay? And also I do personal astrology and tarot readings, okay? So if you would like some more personalized guidance from me or personal reading, my personal readings are currently open. You can book through Instagram DM or email. All that information will be down below, okay? So I think I've said what I wanted to say. Now I'll include the video where I talk about the Great Conjunction. If you want to know about that, stick around. Otherwise, I'll see you at your reading. Okay, so the Great Conjunction, Jupiter and Saturn for me, they are the two social planets in the way that, they are outer planets, but they move quicker than the generational planets. Generational planets being Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. So Jupiter stays in the same sign for about a year, and Saturn stays in the same sign for about 2.5 years. So the people born, for example, in school, your school grade pretty much has the same Jupiter and Saturn signs, or most of the people around exactly your age. So that's why they can be called the social signs. For me, I think Jupiter and Saturn, they are very, very opposite energies, but they're both definitely needed in the zodiac and in our lives, because Jupiter expands everything it touches and Saturn is about constraints and restrictions. So you see kind of the paradox here. But how I see it is that, to me, Jupiter and Saturn are the two teachers of the zodiac if you look at the archetypes, because I think Jupiter is kind of like the teacher that is very, very gregarious, very extroverted, very philosophical, and just very enjoyable, just has a nice sense of humor, and is very present and very friendly and very human. And it's very easy to like them, and to like him if you're talking him saying like Jupiter, but if you're talking about them. So if you're imagining Jupiter as a teacher, it's like your favorite teacher that's so easy to like, right? and who really believes in you, really pushes you, and is always there for you. And if you're interested, you can talk with them after the class ends and all of that stuff. You know what I mean? I think we all had a teacher like that, or I wish that for you, because it is really enjoyable, really nice. And teachers often have strong Jupiter in their chart as well. And Saturn is the teacher who's really strict, who's more severe, and more serious as well. Saturn is kind of the cold teacher, the one that's just so easy to hate, or to dislike. And you don't, fun is not a keyword that you would associate with them. But as you mature and as you grow up and as you age, you turn back and you realize that they were like this to you, truly to encourage you to grow. They were hard on you to encourage you to grow and to work harder. And they were like hard on you to encourage you to learn how to discipline yourself so that you can be more and more successful as your life goes on. Okay, so Jupiter is not all good, because sometimes Jupiter can be too much, and can be, Jupiter expands everything it touches, but sometimes it can be too much as well. So Jupiter is not all good, and just Saturn is not all bad. Okay, so they're coming together during this conjunction. So this is really, the last time this conjunction happened was in May 2000 in the sign of Taurus, and now we have this happening at 0 degrees Aquarius. And as I already said, I think the 0 degrees is just so powerful and so symbolic. You can look in your birth chart, astrological birth chart, where this falls in what house, and this is where you're going to see the most changes. There's going to be a lot of innovations. There's just like, with this conjunction, especially at 0 degrees, I feel there's a lot of opportunities for new things and new doors to open, but of course you're going to have to take it if that is presented to you. Okay, it's just not going to happen just like that. But we've been in this super heavy Capricorn energy all year long, and we are slowly really moving out of that and looking at the future. We've been really kind of reflecting on our life and on ourselves and on our societies and our infrastructures, institutions, all of that stuff, which is really Capricorn and really Saturn. And all of that has been transforming because of Pluto and the Saturn-Pluto conjunction in January that's really heavily associated with COVID. But now we are looking forward. Okay, like we had all of this. We've been assessing, some of these things have broken down or have been teared down, but and we've assessed what is good, what is bad, what do we want to keep with us, and what do we want to leave in the past, and now where are we going? Like, now what? This is really the feeling that this great conjunction is giving me. So yeah, I think I've said what I wanted to say about this. If you're interested in some more information, you can look that up. Hello again, Taurus. Welcome to your reading. So in case you did not listen to the intro, I'm going to say what we're going to be looking at today in your reading. So first of all, we're looking at what are some lessons that you've learned in 2020, or some things that you have healed in 2020. Then we're going to look at what is the great conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn in Aquarius on December 21st, 2020, activating within you. If you don't know what that is or what that means, I talked about it just before that. So go back and watch that. It's in the timestamps, or you can also look that up. And we're doing some general 2021 predictions for you. What will your life be like in 2021? And finally, we're closing out with some advice from spirits, okay, on whatever it is that you might need advice for at the time that you're watching. So without further ado, let's get into your reading. All the decks that I use in your reading will be listed in the description box, okay, if you're interested. Okay, so Spirit, what are some things that Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising has healed or learned in 2020? What has Taurus learned or healed in 2020? Oh, interesting. What are some things that Taurus learned or healed in 2020? Maybe another card? Okay, let's get 2 more. Okay, I think that's it. Interesting. Okay. I'll just place them how I feel they should be placed, and I will show your cards to you, okay? Okay, so here we have the 3 of Swords. We have Transformation in reverse. This is the Death card. We have the 5 of Cups in reverse. And we have the 10 of Cups in reverse. And at the bottom of the deck we have the King of Cups. And I actually feel, I looked, as you might have seen, and I feel like I will take both of these out. Underneath it we have the King of Swords. So what's interesting here is that we have 6 cards, right, with the 2 kings that we got out. But I feel like there's like 2 different things, mainly. There's 2 different categories here. That never really happens to me. I mean, it's pretty rare sometimes. It's either like everything, it's either like every card is its own thing or it's all connected. I mean, everything is connected in life, but you know what I mean. So with the 3 of Swords here, I think that you're someone who instinctively you would always tend towards safety and security. And you know, this is a very natural thing for most humans, especially if you have been hurt in the past or if you have experienced trauma of any kind. And this is also very typical to Taurus, okay? This is usually the natural instinct, the natural mechanism of a Taurus. And when that happens and in excess, when you protect your heart too much and you never go out of your comfort zone and you always stick to the things that you know, what can happen is that you avoid transformation when it is necessary, okay? And this is a lesson that most, if not all Tauruses, I think really have to learn at some point in their life, okay? This is really something that can hold you back, because the thing is, you know, our nature kind of, how do I want to say that? Our qualities and our flaws are always kind of interconnected. So, you know, some of the best qualities of Taurus is that they're stable, they're hardworking, they're perseverant, they're determined, they're resilient. Like, you are pretty much the best sign at working slowly but surely towards something and being really ambitious and getting it, even though it's like low-key. Like, you don't make a show of it, but if you want to go get something, you will go get it no matter how long it takes you. And that's something that's really admirable of you. And that's something, you know, a lot of signs can learn from you on that. But the thing is, when that energy is in excess, you avoid transformation because you're too comfortable with where you are and who you are at that moment. And you are the sign, you know, Taurus is fixed earth. So it's the most like fixed sign of the zodiac. So Taurus is the sign that dislikes change the most. And I get it. I like, although I don't have Taurus placements, I like my own comfort zone. And sometimes we just don't want to change. We just want to go with what we know. Like it's so much easier. Like it feels better. Like it's not scary because we know what it is. Okay, but sometimes like it is required, because the thing is, if we keep ourselves too long in something and we refuse to let the change happen, like, first of all, we're not going to be aligned with our soul at all. Like, we're going to end up being stuck or feeling stuck in a life where we don't enjoy anything, or we just hate what's going on. Like, maybe you like your job's not all that, but like it's okay and you're used to it, so you just stay in it. But the thing is, like, the more you stay, the more you don't like it. Or even sometimes it's not even that you'll end up hating it straight up, but it's just not going to fulfill you at all. And then your life can become so dull. And so, like, you will feel empty inside and you won't know why. So I think that this is a big, big, big lesson that you've learned this year, Taurus. And that is really amazing. It's a hard lesson to learn. And as I said, it's a big lesson that most, if not all, Tauruses have to learn at one point in their life. And you have learned it this year in 2020. Okay, so congratulations. Yeah, and 2020 was huge changes like we've pretty much never seen. So it makes sense to me that this was triggered for you this year. Well, last year, because I'm filming this in early January. But yeah, I think that you were like, yeah, you just kind of realized everything that I've just said. You just kind of realized that by yourself, which like helped you to change. Because the thing is, like, yeah, it's cool to be comfortable and it's cool to know what's going on, but the thing is, like, you have to do it when it's worth it. And sometimes if you risk it and you put yourself out there and you make a move, or you let people see your heart, like, it's not always going to be disastrous, and it can actually be better. And sometimes it's worth it to take that risk or go out there and do that thing. Okay, so I think you've realized that, you've learned that, so that will really help you out in the future. Because typically with like soul lessons like this, with like self-development lessons like this, you have to practice them, but like the first time is always the hardest. It's always the hardest to do it the first time when you're trying to learn something, okay, that is really like difficult for you, or makes you feel threatened. Okay, so it's gonna get easier and easier as you do this. So it's always gonna stick with you for the rest of your life, the fact that you actually broke out of that pattern and did this in 2020 in whatever shape or form that took for you personally. Yeah, I think that you're learning how to have a good balance between persevering, staying in the same thing and just persevering, and knowing when to quit and start anew. I think you're learning how to have a balance. Yeah, and the King of Cups is about emotions, so I feel this is really related to your heart. And so for some of you, this might have been about your love life, or expressing how you really felt to people, if not even necessarily just your love life, maybe your friends, or I don't know, maybe even your family, because maybe that's not something really, maybe in your family you guys don't really speak about your emotions usually, or you didn't. Either way, I just feel like this whole thing has kind of opened up or healed your heart chakra a lot, and you've been feeling happier, and you've just been feeling more calm is what I'm getting. Okay, that's really sweet. So the other side here, why do I get a blank all of a sudden? I know when I pulled these cards, I knew what I wanted to say about them, and now I'm like, what? It will come back. Yeah, I mean, I said at the beginning these are kind of two separate things, but of course they're interconnected. And I think, both of these are in reverse. So there were a lot of things that were blocked or that you were blocking yourself out of before that you've stopped doing that now. Okay, that's what your lesson was, that you realized you were blocking yourself in some areas of your life and you stopped doing that. So I think that with the Five of Cups here in reverse, I see two different things. Either, yeah, this is really a lot about the heart chakra, isn't it? Yeah, I think that we have a lot of multiple cups cards. I think that you were either when you were sad or you experienced some type of loss in your life and you like had to grieve something, you either always kept yourself in that or never really let yourself go out of that. And I know that kind of seems ridiculous because it's like who would purposely want to stay sad? But I mean, first of all, when we do that, typically it's most of the time it's unconsciously. And I know there's some people who are like, when they get happy, they're scared because they think it's good. It means something bad will happen. So they like, I mean, of course they want to be happy, but they actually kind of sabotage that sometimes. So I feel like that was you, either that or when something difficult or bad or sad or a loss happened to you, you would like not let yourself be sad and feel those emotions that were more unhappy and more difficult to handle. You would not let yourself truly grieve, and you would just kind of like numb yourself. That could have been with substances. Substances kind of sounds like big word. It can be illegal drugs or legal drugs, doesn't. But numbing yourself and escapism can take so many different forms. Okay, yes, it can be drugs and alcohol and that kind of stuff, but it can be eating a lot all the time, it can be watching the TV all the time, being on your phone all the time, just sleeping all the time, just like keeping yourself living in a way that you don't have to feel your emotions or you don't have to address them, basically. So it's either one or two, the first or the second thing that I just said. I feel like that was what your life was before. And yeah, and because of that, the thing, whichever option it was for you, or maybe it was both for you in a way, you were blocking yourself off from experiencing true happiness. Okay, because that's what the Ten of Cups is about. The Ten of Cups is about emotional fulfillment. It's about happiness. It's about a feeling of completion. Yeah, fulfillment is really like the key word here. So that's because you're blocking yourself off here. Like, because it's a whole journey. That's the thing. Like, you cannot get to the Ten of Cups if you don't go through the Five of Cups. Okay? Because as humans, we're always going to experience difficult things and sad things and feelings that we feel are negative or difficult to handle, or we're always going to have moments where we feel unhappy, where we experience injustice or whatever it is, okay, when we are hurt, but we don't have to let ourselves be defined by that. And the thing is, like, I saw something that said recently, when you feel like extremely sad or depressed or hurt, you only have the capacity to feel this sad because you also have the capacity to feel extremely happy. Do you understand what I mean? It goes together. You wouldn't be able to feel this sad if you also didn't have the capacity to feel really happy. So the key is not to avoid the Five of Cups moment. It's to live it, accept it, see it, experience it, then let it go and heal it when it's time without dismissing it. And then you can continue your journey and then hopefully eventually get to the 10 of Cups. Okay, so I think this is something that you've learned this year. And now you can finally, I mean, not that you were never happy, of course, but it's like you can finally get closer to, or you are closer to, a bigger, brighter emotional fulfillment and happiness. Okay, like a more general feeling of happiness, because what I'm feeling here is because you were kind of either avoiding stuff or, yeah, you see the motion I'm doing, or just blocking yourself out or your emotions out in certain situations. I feel like your happiness was kind of concentrated on like specific areas of your life or specific moments, or only when you were with specific people or something like that, or only when you were this way or this way. It was like concentrated to certain things, but it couldn't be something that was like general for you, or that was like everywhere. Or I mean, we're never always happy, you know what but like, you know what I mean, okay? It was always like specific to some area of your life or some part of yourself. So now you can access to something bigger, something that's just more whole, basically. And I think, I think that both you and I've talked about emotions a lot, during this reading up until now, and I know that because we have a lot of cups, but we also have the King of Swords and we have the Three of Swords here. So there is mental energy as well. I think that this year, in 2020, I think that you've matured a lot, both emotionally and mentally or intellectually. I think that, and also getting that some of you might have had really negative self-talk. And that is also something that you kind of realize, like, oh my god, that's not good, I need to change that, okay? And most of you have changed that, or partly, and you're realizing how much better your life is and how much happier you are, so congratulations for that. I'm also getting that some of you might have been seeing a therapist, or you're just talking about what you're going through in your life in general more with the people around you, like you're using your words and you're conversing about all of this, which is helping the whole process. And it's also helping you be and feel more connected to other people. It's making you feel less alone, or if you had felt misunderstood in the past maybe, or lonely, even if physically you were surrounded by people, that has also diminished, if not disappeared. Okay, so now let's ask about the Great Conjunction. What has the Great Conjunction in Aquarius activated within Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising, please? Whoop. Oh my gosh. No, way too much. Way too much. How many cards are here? You're getting too excited, my dear. Okay, I'll shuffle these. I'll try. Can I do that? So, I think the obvious answer is to what is getting activated is a lot of things, apparently. Okay, so let's see. We have the Seven of Wands here. Interesting. And I want to say that at the bottom of the deck, we have the King of Cups once again. Okay, some of you might have, because when we get court cards like this in tarot, like a king or a queen, it can also represent like a real person in your life. So you might have met someone new in 2020, or mostly in romantic, what is the word I want to say? Romantic setting, romantic type of relationship. They don't have to be a man, okay? King is just an energy. Or you will in 2021, or like a new best friend or something, someone who is really mature emotionally, but who is really in control of their emotions. This is someone who has emotional depth, and if that is a man, they would be more connected to their feminine side, you know, what is considered feminine by society, and they are quite wise as well. Kings are most of the time a bit older, so I mean, depends what your definition of old is, but it's typically like not like a teen or young adult. It's usually someone who's like 30 years old or older, but it can be someone younger if they're really, if it's someone younger, they're probably going to appear like wise beyond their years kind of feeling. But yeah, so I wanted to mention that because it came out twice. So I feel it was like, look at me, I'm here. But let's talk about the Seven of Wands, okay? So, the Seven of Wands, what is the Great Conjunction activating within you? So this Great Conjunction is happening at 0 degrees Aquarius, and Aquarius is a sign that makes the astrological aspect of a square to Taurus, which is your sign. So a square is a sign of challenge in astrology, because they are signs that have a lot of differences, and you don't really know how to deal with that when those two meet. Okay, if you have any planets in Aquarius as well and they make a, well, you'll understand this energy better. If they make a square to your Taurus planet or point, if this is your ascendant, then you'll also understand this energy further. But this is kind of a challenging energy because it's kind of like a back and forth of like, I want to do this, but no, I want to do that. It's just like, can be a little bit of a fight. I'm not saying you're going to fight with Aquarius people, okay? We're talking about signs and archetypes here. Because Taurus is like the most, as I said, right? Taurus is the sign, the most fixed sign, the sign that dislikes change the most typically, and it's also the sign that tends to be the most conservative, okay? While Aquarius is the most progressive and visionary and avant-garde sign, okay? So I think you understand the challenge here, the square aspect here. So the Seven of Wands is about asserting oneself, okay? So what is the Great Conjunction sparking within you is that you'll need to be asserting yourself more in 2021, okay? You will be challenged in certain situations. You might have people who are doubting you, who question you, who try to even gang up on you. I don't want to scare you by saying that, but I don't think it's going to be like super, like, I don't think people are like gonna want to destroy your life, but you know, they might kind of like gossip in your back, or they just try to, yeah, they're just insulting you, or they don't think that what you're doing is the right thing, or you know, whatever that is. So I think that you'll be called to in multiple times really assert yourself and say who you are and say what you tolerate and what you don't, and really stand up for yourself, but also for what you believe in, okay? This might be like personal beliefs, about your life values, about your political ideas, about your religious or spiritual beliefs, etc., etc. Okay, you might also be questioning your own beliefs this year. But yeah. And also, if you are a Taurus rising, then this Great Conjunction would be happening in your 10th house, and the 10th house is the house of public life. It's the house of reputation. It's the house of career and vocation. So this might be happening mostly in your job or in your career in general, or people might kind of try to, you know, when I say people might talk in your back, they might kind of try to like stain your reputation, okay? Or this might be kind of something that you have to fight against, okay, to keep your reputation clean, or just not just for the sake to keep it clean. But if you know that you're a person with integrity, you're a person who's competent, then of course you want your reputation to reflect the reality about you, okay? Okay, let's get some general 2021 predictions. What will 2021 be like for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising? I was going to say, they don't want to come out. Okay, I'll take this one and this one. Should I take these two? No, I don't feel like I should. Is there anything else? Oh, yeah. Okay, anything else? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, yeah, I kind of thought that as well. Oh, look who we have here at the top. The King of Swords, again. I have a lot of kings showing up right now, but I won't take it out. I just wanted to show you because it's so funny. Okay. So, let's put this one in the middle here. How pretty is it? Sorry, you can't even see. I'll post a picture of the spread on my Instagram story if you follow me on Instagram at sakura.astrology. But anyway, I'll stop being annoying. So, yeah, some cards came out in reverse, but I feel like I should read them upright, so I will. You have the Knight of Pentacles. You have the Two of Wands. You have the Hanged Man. And you have the Fool. Okay. So first of all, with the Knight of Pentacles, I think that if you don't have a concrete goal right now or in your life, or maybe you had in 2020 and then with everything that happened, both within you and in the external world, that kind of changed, or that kind of like, what was I gonna say? It was an expression I was gonna say, but anyway, it just kind of left, and that wasn't like in the picture anymore. No, it wasn't something you wanted to do anymore, or it didn't seem possible anymore, whatever it is. If you don't feel like you have a specific goal or something specific to work towards, which is, you know, really motivating, so it's difficult when we don't have one, I see that changing in 2021. Or if you already have one, I see that you will keep it and it will just keep getting more concrete, and you will keep working towards that in 2021, okay? So you will do what you do best, which is working hard, slowly but surely towards your goals with resilience and perseverance, and without needing instant gratification or instant results, okay? So that will be a general theme in 2021. We are starting the year with Mars entering your sign in Taurus, finally, after having been in Aries for such a long time, 6 months, because we had a retrograde last fall. So at the beginning of 2021, if you have been feeling like really tired or unmotivated or something, or just like meh, just like blah, you know, that would probably change with Mars, because Mars is a really it kind of sparks up, it can really spark up things. Mars is the planet of action, of will, of passion, and it's also about the physical body. So you might start feeling more energized again, you might sleep better, you might start exercising again. These are really things that it's going to be good energy. It's good, like there's going to be good potential for that, okay, because of the energy of Mars at the first 2 months of 2021. So that would be really nice for you. With the Hanged Man here, I think I'm getting something about releasing control. I think that, yeah, okay, I see how this connects to the other cards I want to talk about after. I think that maybe I'm not getting that you're like a control freak or something. Maybe some of you are. I'm not getting that it's like super intense or that it's like a problem. But I'm just kind of seeing in general that you're going to be releasing control over certain things in 2021. Okay, I heard twin flame in my mind. So I don't know if you guys are on, if you believe in that. I don't know if you or if you know what that is. Maybe some of you guys are on the twin flame journey. Maybe you will meet your twin flame in 2021. Who knows? Maybe that is going to be your King of Cups. But you know, theoretically in the twin flame journey, one of the key aspects is when you want to work towards union with your twin is to really release control and release the outcome of wanting to be with that person. Okay, so that might happen. That would probably happen in 2021 if that is something that you resonate with. But also in your life in general, I'm getting like, because you might make some moves in 2021, or you might want to get some things in 2021. You might, maybe before, or your mindset was kind of like, oh, I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna get this, or like when I make this change, or when I do this, it's gonna do this, and I'm gonna be able to get this. And it was like really kind of planned out in your head, even though you can't really predict what's going to happen. So I think that in 2021 you're going to let that go and just calm down and just, you know, change your perspective on certain things and let things unfold by themselves, because you'll understand how the universe and your spirit guides are creating for you as well. Okay? So because it's like, yes, you will be working hard in 2021, but you're also going to be able to relax, because you're going to release like the obsession of a certain goal or a certain vision that you have in your mind. Okay, and you're going to let life, you're going to be in your power, but you're also going to let life transport you. So I'm getting there might be some changes. I'm getting mostly in your career or also your living situation. So with the Two of Wands and the Fool here, the Fool is clearly about a new beginning. This is what the Fool is about as a card. It's about starting a new journey, starting a new lesson, starting a new cycle in our lives, okay? And also being willing to just throw ourselves in it, kind of. Sometimes it can be a bit naively, because typically the Fool is kind of like a child, but it's also with passion and with pure and sweet curiosity, you know, which is kind of needed sometimes, okay? And with the Two of Wands, it's kind of like, the Two of Wands can be about trying to not match, but balance two different visions that you have. The number 2 in Tower is always about balance, about dualities, about making decisions. So you might kind of have to make some decisions in 2021. You might be trying, what I'm getting is you might be trying to balance two different things. So maybe you want to do two different things with your career, with your life, or you want to change your job, but you're not finding something full-time, so you start doing something part-time and something else. Or maybe you are still in the same job, but some days you work at this office and another day you work at a different office, like in a different place in the city. Or maybe sometimes you work at your office, sometimes at home. Like there's going to be something about two different things, okay? And it's going to be about finding balance and just kind of creating what it is that you truly need and you truly want out of that. And this is something that you're able to and you know, if this is something, if for you it's not about your career and it's more about your home life, you might gonna have two different places where you're mainly at. So, you know, if you have the means to afford it, maybe two different apartments or two different houses, or maybe if you do start dating someone, if you are single, you will often go at their place and they come at your place, or something like that. Or if you are already in a relationship with someone, that might also happen. You might travel, I don't know, okay? There might be something about sharing your time between two different spaces or two different cities or something. But it's all about balance. And the thing that I'm getting is that it's not about trying to fully make the move and erase one of the choices to be able to stick with one. It's about embracing the duality of it and making it work for you. And the thing is, you're only going to be able to live this and experience this because of this lesson that you've learned in 2020, because you've let yourself open up and transform and see nuances more about the choices that you have in your life. Things are not all good or all bad anymore. So now you're able to see the good and having two different things at once and making your life the life that you want to be out of that. You're like finally seeing the beauty in that. And you're letting yourself, maybe not, if it's about a job and maybe you have two different part-time jobs, you're letting yourself have the permission to have something that's not 100% like permanent or stable, or like things that you would have perhaps needed in the past to feel safe and secure within yourself, because you feel more safe and secure within yourself already now, so you don't always need that externally anymore. And that's really beautiful. So we're finally gonna get some advice from the goddesses themselves. Okay, Spirit. Okay. Let's take a look. Okay. Let me take a look at the little booklet first. Okay, so we have I'll say the numbers, but only, take them if they mean something to you. If not, they don't have to mean anything. We have number 20, Hecate, the in-between. We have number 23, Iris, communication. And we have number 6, Benzai 10, beauty. I was gonna say I feel intuitively that number 6 might be the number of the month you're born, and then I was like, well, duh, you're a Taurus. If you're a Taurus sun, Taurus season is from like around May 20th to June 20th, so yeah, obviously. But anyway, or you might be like an early Gemini sun with a Taurus moon or rising. So I'll put the in-between card in between the other two cards if you see what I did there. Okay, that's not funny. So I think I love this card. It's so beautiful. It's the first time this deck is still rather new. And it's the first time I pull this one. So I love the colors. I think, I've talked about how I think with the King of Swords that you've started expressing yourself more this year. And I think that Iris is really here to tell you to keep doing that, okay? I'm also getting that some of you... Oh, okay. Some of you are like getting visions or like is that a word in English? Premonitory. If that's not a word, just forget it. Premonitory dreams. Like you get dreams of like what would happen in the future. That's like quite specific, so it's not gonna be for everyone. I'm getting some of you have that, or there's something about maybe you're hearing things, you're seeing things that you know or don't exist in the 3D. Something about psychic stuff, spiritual stuff, and maybe for some of you it's rather new because you know you have been opening your third eye. And not whoa, okay. I was gonna say your heart chakra because that's what I said earlier, and then I said third eye. So yeah, okay, that makes sense. Third eye. Maybe you have been opening your third eye consciously or not, and so maybe those messages are starting to be stronger, to come in more. That's okay. Don't dismiss them. You can communicate. First of all, you can communicate with those entities or with those messages. Second of all, you can communicate and speak about them. Okay, so I think especially if you're kind of experiencing that and you're like, oh my god, what the hell is this? Like, how do I deal with this? What do I do with this? Try to find people you can speak about this with. Okay, if you have your King of Cups in your life, maybe they can, but it can be other people. If you're not sure how to speak about this with other people, or if you don't know if this would be safe to speak with other people in your life, you can, there are groups online, like on Facebook, there's pages of people who are psychic or experience those kind of things online. You can also just talk about this with yourself or journal about this, write about this, okay? Write about these experiences and how it feels for you, how you feel about them, okay? But don't just keep that all in for yourself because it's going to make things a lot more difficult. Yeah, I think that this is really just confirming again everything that we've said, that this is really about you finding peace and finding, the beauty in the in-between, in the duality, in the balancing of two different things, because this is a big theme in your spread. Like we've talked about this here also. So yeah, I think Hecate is here to tell you that even though you might feel like you are always kind of in between something else, in between something, like you finish something and now there's like a future you want to get to, but you feel like you're in between, you don't know how to deal with that, or you feel kind of lost, or you're like, well, what is this? Or, I don't understand, or I don't understand what the lesson is here. I think the lesson is to find the beauty in here, and I think Hecate is here to be like, yes, even though you might feel like, where the hell am I at right now in my life? This is a weird space. It is actually exactly where you need to be right now. It was 44 at the recording time when I looked, and when I said that. Yeah, I think Hecate is here to tell you that this is exactly where you should be right now. So don't need to worry about it, and just find the peace and the happiness. Find your peace and your happiness in this space. Don't worry about other things. If you want things to move more quickly, they will at the right time. Just focus on the present for now. Yeah, this year for you, it's about, I've said the word beauty a lot, I think, in this reading already, or I've talked about that. So it's about whatever situation, wherever you find yourself in 2021, it's about you finding the beauty in it. And beauty is something that is associated to you, whether you believe it or not, because Taurus is ruled by the planet of Venus, which is a planet of beauty and harmony and love, and the arts also, which is why Taurus people tend to be artistic, and Taurus rising people specifically tend to have quite beautiful features, even though you might not realize it. Okay, other people tend to perceive you like that. So it's about you finding the beauty in that and everything, and that is something that you're quite gifted with, because you're a Taurus. I'm also getting, if some of you are more self-conscious, or you don't feel that beautiful, it's gonna be something you're going to be, here Benzai 10 is telling you how beautiful you actually are. and it's going to be something that you're going to be working towards in 2020, okay? Building your self-confidence and finally realizing how beautiful you are. Okay, so this was quite a long reading, but I had so much fun doing it. I hope you had fun also watching it. These are all the messages I'm getting for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this resonated. If it did, please like this video, comment down below to let me know, share this video, subscribe to my channel for more videos like and unlike this one. If this didn't really resonate, you can check out one of your other signs, like your sun, moon, or rising, because this is the intention I put in my readings when I make them, especially your rising sign, if this isn't already your rising sign. So all this, I think I will post this at the same time as the other earth signs, so if that is, then all the zodiac signs will already be on my channel as I upload this one, okay? So go check that out. Either way, yeah, I do personal astrology and tarot readings. My personal readings are open right now, and sometimes I do, you can follow me on Instagram. You can book a personal reading on Instagram or email. I'm kind of sorry, I think it's because this reading has been kind of long. I'm kind of like, all over the place right now with what I'm saying. You can, if you're interested in personal reading, you can book via Instagram DM or email. All that information in the description box below. You can also follow me on Instagram to stay in touch with me, to stay in touch with what I do. I do other stuff on Instagram like astrological forecast. I do pick-up piles. I do also sometimes ask the deck in my stories, so you can ask one of my tarot decks a question and I will pull an answer for you. I do giveaways every once in a while, so go check that out if that's something you would be interested in, okay? Either way, I'll send you off. I'll let you go. I wish you a good day and a great 2021. And I thank you so much for joining me today and watching. I love you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.